Tigers are awesome animals, right? They're at the top of the food chain, which means they're super important for keeping everything balanced. When tigers are around, they keep the number of other animals in check, helping the whole ecosystem stay healthy. Plus, they're like poster animals for saving wildlife. They stand for the bigger fight to protect our natural world. What we're diving into here is how climate change is going to affect where tigers live. We're looking at how their homes might change and what that means for trying to keep them safe. Let's chat about tiger habitats and what's going on with them. Tigers need just the right kind of home to do well. They love places where they can hide and sneak up on their food, like forests or tall grass. Water's super important too. They need it to drink, but they also like swimming and sometimes hunt in the water. And of course, they need plenty of food, usually big animals like deer and wild boars. It's also important for them to be able to move around between different areas to find mates, set up their own space, and look for food. All these things, cover, water, food, and space to move, are key for their survival. But here's the problem. Tiger homes are under threat. With all the trees being cut down for stuff like farming and building cities, tigers are losing their natural spaces. This means less room for them, fewer places to hide, and not as much food. When their homes get broken up into smaller pieces, tigers can't move around as freely. This messes with their ability to find new mates and can lead to more run-ins with people. Plus, when people move closer to where tigers live or build roads and buildings, it just makes things harder. On top of all that, their food sources are getting hunted too much. And sadly, tigers themselves are still being poached for their fur and other parts. All these issues are really bad news for tigers and their ability to live in the wild. Before we continue, please consider subscribing. Now let's talk about climate change and how it's affecting tigers. So, climate change means big changes in our weather and temperatures over time. Nowadays, it's mostly because of human activities, like burning fuels that pump greenhouse gases into the air. This causes global warming and a bunch of changes like hotter temperatures, different rain patterns, more extreme weather, and rising sea levels. These changes are a big deal everywhere, messing with nature, health, farming, and money stuff. Now let's focus on tigers. Their homes are getting hit by climate change in two main ways. First, the direct hits. Plants are changing. With different temperatures and rain, the plants where tigers live are changing. Maybe there's less grass for the animals tigers eat, or the forests are changing. Water troubles. If the rain gets weird, there might be too little or too much water. Tigers need water to drink, hunt, and cool down. Then, the indirect hits. People moving in. As farming gets tough and living conditions change, people might move into tiger areas. This leads to more fights between humans and tigers, and it breaks up their homes. Prey problems. If the climate messes with the habitats and food for the animals tigers eat, these prey animals might become less common, making it harder for tigers to find food. Let's dive into a study by Radha, Kumar, and Khan from 2020, focusing on tigers and climate change. The main goal of this study was to figure out how climate change might change where tigers can live. They used a fancy machine learning method called the random forest algorithm. This helped them sift through tons of data about where tigers live and the environment there. By doing this, they could predict how different climate situations might impact tiger habitats. This method is great because it can handle lots of factors, like changes in temperature, rain, and the landscape. One big thing they found was that tiger habitats might shrink a lot because of climate change. They think there could be up to a 23% reduction in tiger-friendly areas by 2050 in some climate cases. This is pretty worrying since tigers are already at risk. Also, the study showed that different areas might lose different amounts of habitat. This means we need specific plans to save tigers in different places. Now, how can we protect tigers from climate change with some smart strategies? First up, we need to be flexible and think ahead. A big idea is making wildlife corridors. These are like highways for tigers, linking their homes so they can move around more easily. This is super important for keeping their gene pool diverse and helping them find food and mates, especially when their usual spots are messed up by climate change. Another cool approach is making habitats that can handle climate change better. This means taking care of and fixing up tiger areas in ways that make them tougher against climate issues, like having different kinds of plants and safe water sources. These steps help keep the tiger's environment healthy, even when things are changing. Now let's talk about people and rules. Local folks living near tigers are really important for saving these big cats. When they're part of the plan, things usually work out better. They can help keep an eye on the tigers, report bad stuff like poaching, and use natural resources in a tiger-friendly way. As for policies, we need strong local and international rules. This means tougher laws against poaching, better protection, and fixing of tiger habitats. To sum it up, saving tigers is about more than just keeping these amazing animals around. It's about our commitment to taking care of our planet's wildlife and everything else that lives here. Tigers are key to the health of their ecosystems, and protecting them helps the whole natural world. In these uncertain times for our environment, how we look after tigers shows how ready we are to create a future that's good for all kinds of life on Earth. Subscribe if you liked the video, and there's another one showing on the screen.